What is a team on Amazon? How do you put together all-star team as a small business owner to help you grow successfully on Amazon? I'm going to talk through all the key roles and key skills that you need to bring together to make sure that you have supported on Amazon. Welcome, my name is Irina Balurko. I'm a partner at Red Rocks Ecommerce, where we help brands grow successfully from zero to their first million and beyond on Amazon Marketplace. In our work as a Amazon consulting agency, we work mostly with small brands where we still often interact directly with the founder, who still functions as CEO, as an owner, right? And they may usually they have a core team, but hence why we come in the picture as their Amazon partners, since they don't have expertise or capacity yet to build out their own, internal Amazon supporting role. And this video is really for, if you are in that position as a small business owner, want to make decisions who to plug in from your team to get on Amazon, or if you are looking at hiring expert help like ourselves, these pointers are for you to look to make sure that whoever you bring on board, as in, let's say, agency, have those right skills and right functions. All right, so let's talk through this. And I'm going to approach this not necessarily from functions perspective, somewhat, but somewhat not. It's really because sometimes we can kind of lose sense of what is really can be parlayed or leveraged, and also sometimes things kind of get lost behind titles, because it's not just about the titles. It's really, again, about the core expertise that support the core pillars of what it takes to be successful on Amazon. So I'm going to approach it from really the type of kind of a person or skill set, right? And then I'll mention the functions that they would cover. So the first, you need to have a visual designer skill set, person or team. And by that designer, I don't just mean graphic design. It's really somebody who is really good about putting visuals and content together and really structuring really strong presentation, because it's becoming really, really critical. Well, it has become really, and it's going to just increase how your brand looks on Amazon. That's again through visuals, through videos, overall appeal, clickability, right? Anything from the structure, the colors, how it all looks together, how the brand looks together, supporting assets on product pages. So that's what I mean by really visual designer person who can put it together and kind of hold the cohesiveness of the brand on Amazon. So because that you're really, your clicks depend on that, which means your sales depend on that, okay? So the second one is your fixer-doer for things such as Amazon catalog management, to some extent, fulfillment management, FBA management, fixing random things that always break on Amazon. So you need somebody who can really to be in the details, and sometimes they're not the most exciting, but they just kind of have a mindset of going in and fixing things and figuring things out. Because things, again, constantly break on Amazon. So a lot of that has to do with backend. So they are a person or a team that kind of motivated just getting things done. They don't have to be sexy, let's say marketing, right? Or the visual kind of a designer that I'm talking about or talked about earlier. So they need to be, I can go in, I can figure it out, I can find the right person to talk to, I can put the right buttons, and I take satisfaction from getting that done, even if I'm more behind the scenes. Okay. The third one is your data person, your analytics, your nerd. So that absolutely, no secret, Amazon is extremely number-driven platform. It is also fairly technical in how it works. So this is very, your market. So this is person or team is really for advertising. A lot of it is really about sifting through keywords, sifting through data, through so many KPIs across advertising. They need to be somebody highly analytical. Yes, if they bring, obviously if they have PPC advertising expertise in Amazon, that should be given, that bring that skill set, but also kind of, again, if you're plugging in from things that already you have in the team. So this is really analytical / advertising experience. But then also there's also element where there's multiple KPIs across the board where analytic person can see patterns through numbers where, oh, well, our sales dropped. Did conversion rate drop? Did maybe something with advertising stop performing? Did our customer return rate increase to the point that it impacted sales? So that's kind of a, this holding that, the pattern together or presenting the patterns as they see them, right? So for decision makers to run with. Your fifth one is your galvanizer. As I mentioned already earlier, there is multiple pieces to hold together on Amazon. There is your advertising, your data analytics, you have your to-dos and fixing things that break, your catalog, you have fulfillment, you have the visual element, the designer that sometimes get, maybe carried away with redoing storefront when it's not needed, but yet they're needed, right? So the galvanizer, a cheerleader, a project manager, however you call it, but somebody who can pull the pieces together and push on the question, how do we move things forward, right? How do we get results? What is our next milestone? How do we judge our success, right? And the last but not least is your visionary big picture. That's a person that, let's say, would interact with galvanizer, right? So to say, and help make decisions. And the person signs off and helps direct the overall picture. How does Amazon fit in our business? Where do we want Amazon to be in 1 year, in 5, in 10 years, right? That's the person that gets the overall team kind of cast the big vision, right? So those are the 5 roles. Now, do you need 5 people for all of this? Not necessarily. In the beginning, often, especially with, for smaller brands, the business owner functions as a galvanizer and a big picture person, right? Sometimes a doer, or maybe you have a person that does analytics, maybe they do advertising, but they will also, enough to play with designing product pages. So it's really not necessarily about number of people or number of titles or positions, but it's really the skill sets that you need to put together to bring that A team. So as obviously agency, as I mentioned, we have a luxury of have that obviously represented, right, in by separate people with their own skill sets, and then we'll come together as a team. And then if you are looking for an Amazon agency, you need to kind of look for those 5 roles, make sure that they do have that. Well, sorry, not 5 roles even, because you should really be functioning as the big picture visionary, right? On the other side, there should be the galvanizer is really super important with other people, the doer, the visual designer, the data nerd behind them, right? So make sure that team is there. But also in the beginning, you may function as, as I mentioned, some of those roles. So, and that's fine, right? But just kind of as you grow, remember, you cannot really do well on Amazon long-term if you don't have all those 5 elements. And ideally, if you are running Amazon, if you begin stages where Amazon is still within your, on your lap, you have to really obviously work yourself to the point where you are fulfilling only one role. That's a big picture and a visionary. Those are the key kind of a resourcing skills and human levers, right, that you need to put together to create your own amazing A+ Amazon team. If you have any questions about Amazon, if you need help on Amazon, you can find us on redrocksecommerce.com. Subscribe, comment below, and we'll talk soon.